Hello and welcome to a new episode of Las Platicas. Who do we have in Zoom studio today, Kristen?
Well, just as a reminder, Las Platicas is a show hosted by Commodity Comics where we meet with creators and friends to talk about upcoming projects, events, and all around awesome news in the comic community. Today, we have the pleasure of having Nathaniel Osollo with us. Yay!
Woo!
We need our
Sound
voice,
effects.
our sound effects. Yes. Nathaniel joined us way back pre-pandemic in the before times, not 2019, as a guest on our barely just third, we were such babies, our third episode of Las Platicas. He creates original artwork and has self-published comics Dark Mouse, Point of View, and Shadow People, which we actually reviewed on episode 15, so check it out. Today, he comes to Las Platicas to talk about his next comic book endeavor, a Kickstarter campaign launching just days away that will be raising funds to print his next Dark Mouse book, which is an anthology that collects a serial comic from 2016, 2017, and count them, two brand new, never before seen short stories. We can't wait to hear all about it. Welcome back, Nathaniel.
Yeah. Great to be back.
All
How is
right.
everybody?
We're doing pretty good.
Yes, it's been since 2019, and there definitely was less of you in the facial area back then.
Plus, it was the audio format back in the day.
That's right.
Yeah,
remember?
So nobody even knew what he looked like. Guess what,
Right,
guys?
yeah.
This is what he looks like.
This is what I look like, and like the beard. Yeah, nobody saw the beard before, so maybe a lot of people, this is like their first impression of me. But this is newish. The last pandemic couple of years feels like 1 year, so it really for me it feels like I've only had this for a couple of months, but really it's been like 2020. It's hung around for a minute.
Yeah, I've only cut my hair. Well, I cut my hair once myself and then once regular, and then everything went crazy again. So I've only cut my hair twice since March 2020. Nice. So for those listeners who may not be familiar with you, didn't listen to those episodes, or haven't seen any of your work, why don't you please share with us your origin story of how you entered into the comic industry? Just introduce yourself by talking a little bit about your history with comics and how you began your comic career.
Sure. Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, I started reading comics when I was just a wee lad, like 6 years old or something. Saw picture books. You start making your own books as a kid, and I just kind of never stopped. I would be at school early morning, get dropped off by the school bus, and like be drawing my own comics when everybody else was getting there. So people would be like watching me draw, and I've always been like that guy, that kid in class who draws really good. Like, oh, we have an art project coming up for our literature class. Will you draw my book cover for me, or whatever it was? So like, I've been making books forever. I would make like comics in high school and like pass them around to friends, like comic strips, and then eventually started making my own books. In 2010, I started self-publishing seriously and taking books to local conventions and things like that. It's what I like to call the hobby that pays for itself. So like I have a full-time job, but I also draw on the side, like so many artists. Whenever I can, I get involved with public art. I've done the Bold Pass event a couple of times in Pasadena. I've done gallery shows with the Riverside Art Museum and a couple galleries out there. And I'm self-publishing, hopefully more and more books. I'm trying to take a more disciplined, direction-focused attempt at it. I've self-published a few books, and hope to be doing a lot more real soon. Over the past, again, pandemic, I haven't really published much, but I'm really excited to have my first Kickstarter, and get a new book printed and published and start selling that.
That is awesome. Super cool. Yeah, I love Dark Mouse. It's one of my favorite things to draw. Usually I do it in October, but I failed at it this year. I didn't continue, but I loved drawing Dark Mouse. That was so much fun.
Yeah, you drove during Inktober, right?
Inktober, yes, exactly. So I know it's not officially La Hora de la Cervecita, but I know that you're joining with us with a beer. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I really should have looked this up. This is Lefe, maybe that's how it's pronounced. I don't know.
Oh,
Or
yes,
I've
yes.
had that beer.
Yeah, me
Okay,
too.
perfect.
Uh-huh.
It's a Belgian blonde, a Belgian ale. It's 6.6 alcohol by volume, and it's real tasty. It's real
I
tasty.
love that
I
one.
love that one
Belgians
too.
are one of our favorites.
Absolutely. Yes, very, very good. I have joining us with Great Notions. It is this really beautiful synesthesia. I like it has a little bit of a kind of a
nice.
shimmer in
Yeah.
the anyways, this is really good. Although I wear glasses, I don't want to fool you guys, I still can't read. It's a 8.2% alcohol by volume. This was recommended from one of the people that work at 310 liquor store, and this is my second can. I went and got one, and it was really delicious that I went to get a second one. They're not selling it by the 4-pack.
Oh,
but,
wow.
But it's a real treat, and I'm glad that we're drinking together. So salud.
Yes.
Salud.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you
I
drinking?
don't have anything.
Yes,
I
water.
have water by Ralph's.
What's the ABV?
What's the ABV? Because when you guys said you were gonna get a beer, I thought, do I want to get up?
Fair. That's completely fair.
That's completely fair. Yes, I wasn't gonna get up either. Salud.
Cheers.
But
Cheers.
I decided at the last minute that I wasn't gonna let you drink alone. Very good.
Now I regret it.
Oh, see.
No obligations. We don't have to drink to draw. I was telling my wife, I was like, I don't remember if Las Platicas, if they do the cervecita during that. So I'll just keep it on deck just in case.
Well, actually, when there were people in studio, we did have a beer share with people, and some people like Melina, she actually brought the
pineapple.
Yeah, the drink, the pineapple with the fruit in it, but then we also were doing
multiple beers. I think we did on that one.
We did. What is it called when you put tomato juice and beer together?
Michelada?
Yeah, she had the micheladas that she brought. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, you guys, I think we had beer and cheese and grapes, maybe.
Yes, we did. Well, back in the olden days, now that we're going back, we every time somebody came to interview in studio, either my husband cooked if he was available, or we had some kind of cheese dish or some fruit or something. It was a really great time, actually. I miss that.
Yeah, me too.
Totally.
The food was the best.
The food was amazing. I mean, hopefully someday, like we were planning a long time ago, like 2 years ago, to have like a thank you to our listeners party. And I was really excited. I started making a list on Spotify, and my husband Frank has said he can make the hors d'oeuvres. It's going to be great. But then the pandemic hit, and we never talked about it again. But anyways, reminiscing about the past, please tell the listeners about Dark Mouse, and now how did you develop that story?
Yeah. So Dark Mouse is the short elevator pitch is Dark Mouse is Sin City with mice. It's super violent crime comics. It's a gritty crime book. All the characters are mice. They're some people say like, oh, it looks kind of like Mouse from like Art Spiegelman, but like that's only because the first Mouse comic I ever saw was Mouse, and in my head subconsciously or I think subconsciously is the right word. I like in my head that like that's just how mice look in comics.
Yeah.
So that's why he looks kind of like the way he does. He's just a little dirtier, a little more intense than the book Mouse. But that story came from, or the character came from the idea of like, what would I do if I didn't have responsibilities or inhibitions? And like the first issue of it is like him going on a bender in Vegas. There's like a bunch of little like zines where like he takes a dump on somebody's car, where like he fights multiple people. He's a real jerk. He's a real bad guy. This
I just read all of them last night, and I'm laughing because you're naming them off, and I'm picturing them in my head of what they look like.
Do you have all the little ones?
I don't have all the little ones. I found a place online where they had them listed.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Oh man, I should have sent those ahead of time. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, he's that was how it started, and then very quickly I just realized how much fun I was having drawing him. So he's become just kind of like my go-to whenever like I go to like draw with friends or like go to a drink and draw. Like at any time I'm somewhere where I don't have to think real hard and I just have to or want to draw something, I will start drawing Dark Mouse. And the comics that I'm working on right now, or the comic that the Kickstarter is going to be supporting, is called The Climb and Other Dark Mouse Tales. The Climb is a serialized story that I did at a once a month meetup with a bunch of different artists. We would all do like one page of a comic, and I did this one Dark Mouse story over 12 months. So it's 12-ish pages, and I finally collected it all. And in my head, I was like, well, this seems like too short to produce a book with. So I came up with 2 other stories that happened at some point in Dark Mouse's life. So like everything that I'm doing with him in my head, it's kind of like the precedent for it is like Hellboy. Like Hellboy had Mike Mignola had all these different stories of Hellboy at different times in his life, and he just released them whenever he wanted. And so I'm kind of following that model. I'm just like, oh, it would be fun if Dark Mouse fought a cat, and the cat is like life size to a mouse. And so like but it's not really a kaiju book, so I'm going to do that. I have like a Western idea. I have like a complete like kind of Indiana Jones adventure idea story that I worked out in 2020, and I have a lot of sketches and like even like keyframe art for that. But these other 2 stories that are in the back of the anthology for the Kickstarter is for, one is based on true crime, and the other is based on just like I just really want him to fight a bunch of ninjas. So like that's all it is. It's not very deep at all, but it's super fun.
That's hilarious. Well, the Kickstarter is launching soon. It says coming soon behind you. Do you have a date that it's going to be going live?
Yeah, it's coming soon. Life keeps happening, but I'm trying to make my drop dead date March 30th. It was going to be like in like the next couple of days, and I realized like I wasn't going to have all my ducks in a row, but I don't want to keep pushing it later and later. So we're going to go with March 30th. That's your exclusive. You heard it here first. That's when that is going live.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's when people should be aware and be looking for my emails, be following me, turn on your post notifications, and support and share with your friends if you can't support.
So you told us a little bit about what the book is and about some of the other stories that you are going to be including. Do you already have enough ducks in a row to be able to share what some of the rewards are going to be?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is going to be this Kickstarter is going to be very heavy on original art. So there's going to be lots of commissions, lots of different variations on commissions. I'm going to be doing drawings of Dark Mouse, of course. I'm going to be doing, and those will be like original drawings inserted into the book. There's going to be original drawings on the inside covers of the book. There's going to be original drawings of characters that people want me to draw. Like, okay, cool. Like you can draw Dark Mouse. Can you also draw me Deadpool, or can you draw Thor, or can you draw, Batman or the Riddler from the new movie, or like whatever else. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to have other comics available, like Point of View, which is my comic that I came out with in 2017. I'm going to have a Dark Mouse sticker pack, and then just kind of like random stickers that I'll throw in there too. For like stretch goals, we'll have like improvements to the book, meaning like we'll have like some spot embossing or something like that. So like you could touch the book and feel like the rocks that he's climbing over. It's going to be very much focused on the book itself. I know that like a lot of other campaigns will give you like t-shirts and bookmarks and things like that. I want to try and, like I was saying earlier, I want to really try and focus on just like making a book and making that book better if you're going to invest more in it. If you get really stoked on the original art, I'm going to be doing paintings as well. And that's going to be like the paintings and the original pages from the book itself.
Oh,
which I can
wow.
actually reach over I'm gonna hold up.
That
some of
sounds
these.
amazing. Oh my gosh.
So,
That
like,
is super cool.
if you like original art, this is
Oh,
gonna be for you. Where is it? Where is it?
it's disappeared.
All of you
Alright.
disappeared.
We're just gonna turn this off for a second. Virtual background.
But that really does sound amazing.
There we go.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
That
this
is
is like
awesome.
the original drawing that that the Kickstarter campaign is referencing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I have all of those handy, like right around me. That's Dark Mouse has just been my life for the past couple of months.
Is this your first Kickstarter, or have you had others before?
No, this is my first Kickstarter.
Okay.
Every book I've ever done up until this point has been completely like self-funded. Like I will go and I will pay for the printing, and then I'll try and make my money back later on. And so like this is for like people that I know that are not familiar with Kickstarter or Indiegogo or any kind of crowdfunding. I tell them like this is kind of like pre-ordering. So you're gonna drop in some money into the pot. Once I reach that amount, my goal amount, whatever that is, which is actually, I know the goal amount, it's going to be $5,000. That's what I'm going to be shooting for. Once I reach that $5,000, then your card gets charged, and then I'm going to ship you a book or whatever you ended up buying. Whether or not it's the original pages from the book, or if it's an additional painting, or if it's my cameo message where I say happy birthday to you. I don't have a cameo. But like you put money in, you're gonna get something as long as we reach that goal. If you don't put money in, or if we don't reach that goal, then you don't get charged anything.
Yeah, exactly. So like there's gonna be like a cameo walk on. It's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, but yeah, those are going to be the rewards. Hopefully, the original art is reasonably priced, and people want to chip in and get their hands on that and get their hands on the book.
Well, speaking about it being heavy on original art, I hear a rumor that we are going to have an exclusive Comadres y Comics Las Platicas event here right now, where our guest is actually going to do a live screen share and do some sketching right before our very eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super excited that you're gonna screen share. That's so amazing. This has never happened before.
What if I didn't know how to screen share? What if it was just like guys, just kidding. I'm not actually the artist. I don't know actually know how to draw.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, look at that. It says Comadres in the back.
Oh, that is super cool.
Oh, so this brings up a question. Did you, well, I'm assuming since you've been drawing for so long, there's actually a time where little Nathaniel wasn't drawing digitally. Do you actually have like a collection somewhere of old sketches that you used to draw before you went to digital?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like I don't draw digitally like all the time. This has not always been the norm. That's just like a recent thing, really. Like I just held up that drawing that's like pen and paper and like Sharpies. So like everything that's in the comic started off as a pen and paper drawing, or a pencil and paper at least. And so I still do that plenty. I still love a tactile paper under the pen, holding a pen, using a pen instead of pen. This is my sketchbook.
Oh, nice.
Where like I have
that's so thick.
drawings. Yeah. It's taken me forever to do this. I'm gonna struggle with this again.
Oh, yep.
Come on, robot. There we go.
There we go.
That's super cool.
Some more Dark Mouse sketches. But yeah, I love pen and paper, paper especially. I have drawers with papers in them. I have gone through my stages of collecting papers off the street, and my wife says, "What are you doing?" And I say, like, "Oh, I'm gonna draw on this later," and she's like, "Why?" And you know, like a reasonable person would ask.
That's kind of a cool concept, though. I really like that. I feel like that would be like an amazing installation.
Yeah, and like that's kind of what I do with it sometimes, or when I have that opportunity. Like a few years ago, I had build your own sketchbook workshop at my buddy's gallery. Oh, who I wanted to mention, this is a hat from Division 9 Gallery out in Riverside, which is one of my old haunts, and I try and get out there whenever I can. They're having the Riverside Art Walk tonight. It's always on the first Thursdays of the
wow.
month. So it's a super fun time if you can go and if you can get out there. This is actually a shirt too. Like I will help out at the Dia de los Muertos event that he has annually whenever I can, or used to help out. Last year I actually had a table. But anyways, I forgot the question. Oh, paper and installations and stuff. And yeah, so like I still have drawers of just random papers that I will make my own sketchbooks out of. I started saving some cardboard boxes, which make really good book covers. I use those as the sketchbook book covers. I made maybe like 20 or 30 about 10 years ago when I started doing conventions, and I had so many that I was like, I'm never going to use all these, so I started selling them at conventions.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, any time I can take a thing and make art out of it, it's I will try and do that. As a result, I'm a little bit of a hoarder. It's not that bad, but I could see it getting bad in like maybe 20 years, like when I have less mobility or something.
Actually, you took old Comic Con passes and drew on them and sold them, right, at conventions.
Yeah. So
that was so amazing.
Yeah, I didn't sell those. I know what you're talking about. That was free comic book day at Jeffrey's Comics. No, at Heidi Ho Comics.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was Heidi Ho. Yes.
Yeah, it was Heidi Ho, and I was taking those old badges and drawing in any blank spaces and giving those away because like I had all those badges and I'm not going to do anything with these. Like, here, kids, you can have some fun. Wear this.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
drawing
I didn't know you were doing that. I was busy on the
yeah.
other side.
Oh, well,
running
yeah. I
the
mean, you were super
store.
busy, of course.
Yeah, naturally.
Oh,
But-
you do a lot of great things. Like I recall that when it was time to vote, you offered people out there in the internet out there
Right.
in Instagram, you said you would draw whatever they wanted you to draw if they proved that they registered to vote.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
and I took advantage of that. So
Yeah, you did.
yeah. I had him draw my nephew and I gave it to my nephew for his birthday.
Oh, that's so cool.
And that was just like so amazing. Like it made me cry a little bit.
Aw.
But yeah. But also you do a lot of like original art. I know, Kristen, if you could show us what you got.
Oh,
from
yes.
Nathaniel.
So back in the day, when what's it called now?
East LA Cape.
Cape.
Oh yeah, Cape. Comics, art, something.
Comics, art, and pop culture expo.
There you go. That Cape used to be known as, for one brief year, East LA Comic Con, and that's where we met Nathaniel. And I commissioned him to draw on this, or no, maybe he already did this. I don't remember, but either way, I bought it and he drew it. And it is Thanos and Death on the cover, and it actually sits on my mantle. I look at it every day. It's been up there ever since then. So
That's so flattering. That's so sweet.
I love it so much.
That is super cool. I'm like just mesmerized by your drawing. Because like I said, I try to draw at Dark Mouse once a year, and I have so many times that I have to I can't get the hands right, and I have to like erase and redraw. I mean, you're making it look really easy here. But can you tell us a little bit more in depth about the two stories that are included in your Kickstarter for Dark Mouse?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first one, or the first story in the book, again, it's called The Climb and Other Dark Mouse Tales. The Climb is the first tale. It's a 12-pager, all with it's a 12-pager of like serialized artwork that makes one story when you put it all together. The second one, which hasn't been seen anywhere, is oh man, I'm blanking on the title. I think it's just called True Crime. I'm gonna have to look that up here in a second. But it's based on a police report. Oh no, it's called no, I'm not gonna get it. It's based on a police report about a stabbing in LA at a house. I took that police report and, I dramatized it a little bit. And so it's like a 6 or 8 pager, all about some cops showing up. Somebody has already been stabbed. They're being taken care of by the paramedics. And then they look in the window and stuff's going from bad to worse. So they have to rush in, and Dark Mouse shows up, and things happen.
That's
Violent,
awesome.
violent mice ensue. And the third story, that one is called Samurai Slapstick.
Oh
Remember the name
wow.
of that one. That one is pretty fun for a couple of reasons. Number one, I get to draw a bunch of mouse ninjas who look actually a lot like this guy here that I'm drawing. This is it's kind of like, if you know the Hand from Marvel Comics and like Daredevil comics, this is my
Yes.
mouse version of the Hand. It's just a general nameless ninja, or like a foot soldier from Ninja Turtles,
Turtles.
that kind of thing. But in that story, he shows up. I don't want to say too much about that because it's actually one of those silent comics. There's no dialogue in it. There's a lot of like background elements that kind of give you clues to the story. But he shows up and he has to fight a bunch of ninjas. But one of the other reasons it's cool, not just because I get to draw a bunch of ninjas. One of the other reasons it's cool is because it's got the artwork of another artist named Dylan Tsubasa. I want to make sure I get his name right. But I'm a big believer in the idea that or not, I don't know if it's an idea or like the theory or the philosophy that like your animated artwork, your animated comics, or your animated movies, whatever, is going to look different from reality. Cartoons are in 2D and real life is 3D. We're in 3D. Although people are watching this in 2D right now because we're on Zoom. But yeah, Dylan Tsubasa Lopez is the name of the artist who I asked and commissioned to draw some animated pieces, or draw some pieces for the story, because the story takes place in Dark Mouse's universe, and he's going to a movie theater, and on the movie theater wall there's a movie poster, and when I'm drawing Dark Mouse, that's reality. And the animation in that reality should look different than reality. So I don't want to draw that. I want to have somebody else draw it.
Oh, that makes sense.
So Dylan drew the movie poster. You see the movie screen a couple of times. You see his drawings there. So in the Dark Mouse universe, this particular movie looks like Dylan's drawings. So that was a cool way I was able to get this artist that I really like to draw some Dark Mouse stuff. And so that's what that is. It's called Samurai Slapstick, and again, violent mice ensue.
I think that's really amazing, because I mean, you found a way to have two artists work on like the same page and doing the same storyline. Not like, say, like you did page 1 and they did page 2. I mean, it's intertwined. I mean, has that happened before? I can't think of anything right now off the top of my head.
Yeah. That I'm absolutely not the first guy to do that. There's like the twins, Fabio Moon and Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel Ba. They did a Hellboy story, callback again to Hellboy, that where I don't remember if it's dreams or not, but they switch off in the story for a certain set of pages. They also did that comic Day Tripper, where like in there they also switch off a little bit. I believe, I could be getting that wrong. But yeah, that's totally not an original thought that I had. That's just like a technique that I saw that I really loved, and I was like, I want to try and do that. And so Dylan was cool enough to say like, yeah, I'll draw your weird mouse.
That is super freaking cool.
That's funny. Well, as we are watching art just appear before our eyes, let's talk a little bit more about your artwork. Do you do commissions? What are some ways that our listeners could own a very own their own very own piece of Nathaniel Osollo art?
Yeah, I do commissions. I've had my commissions closed on my Instagram for a while. That was really because I wanted to focus on this book and get this book done. So much has gone on through the pandemic that I wanted to just discipline myself. Like I was doing, like you were saying, I was drawing like commissions for people when they wanted to get a commission because they were registered to vote, because I really wanted people to vote. Um, even doing that took up significant time. Like I spent the day drawing in those particular instances when I did that, which like I don't hate that. I love like spending my time drawing, but that I wanted to make sure that I really devoted and disciplined myself and focused on getting this book done. The way to get original art from me right now is to support the Kickstarter. If you spend a certain level or spend a certain amount of money and go up to a certain tier, you can get original art from me in your hot little hand. And then you can put it on your wall or put it on your mantle. And you can own an original piece of Dark Mouse art from the book, or a completely new original drawing that I will draw for you. If you're paying me to draw Dark Mouse, I am going to be very happy, and it's going to come through in the artwork. Hopefully it's coming through in this one right here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've like I said, I've drawn Dark Mouse, but just watching you just draw the tail, just
I know.
Oh my God, really eye-opening for me. I was like, oh my, that's how he did it.
As he just did that one little line, it was so perfect. I'm like, that's the best freaking mouse tail I've ever seen.
Like seriously, I must have erased that tail so many times. Sometimes I would like go dark and light and like kind of like try to like, I don't know, and it didn't work for me, and I would erase it and do it again and erase it. But you just like, I see what you did, and I'm just like, okay, that's how we did it. Like even something as simple as a mouse tail is not that simple. I mean, seriously, it's not that simple. But
I'm very flattered. It's I have had that experience too of trying to draw a mouse tail a million times. 100%. So you're not alone.
That's super cool. Thank you for making me feel better. I do remember back in the first Comic-Con, I do remember you drew me from across the table, and you put it on, I think on your Instagram, and I was just like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
That was my I think it was my profile picture for so many months. I just was like super
I vaguely
happy.
remember that. Yeah. That was the best convention. We met really so many people.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. We got some great vibes. Like great. We met Yuri that year. She came and interviewed us for the conchas. It was great.
We spoke so much, I lost my voice.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. We met Lalo Alcaraz. He helped us pack up to leave.
Yeah.
I mean, that was super freaking awesome. Like
he helped us carry all the heavy stuff to our car. Yeah.
And then we took pictures with the piñata, the Wonder Woman piñata. Oh my God, that was hilarious.
And Jaime Hernandez came and took a picture with us.
Oh, it was great. Oh my God, I missed the outside times.
Yeah. Oh man, speaking of that, part of the Kickstarter campaign and part of just like the pandemic and missing the outside times, I started drawing online with friends, and this is like, again, not something that I came up with. Is happening all over the place, but like I went to a convention in 2020, because it was during the pandemic, called Lightbox Expo, which happens in Pasadena every year when we're able to go outside, around August, September. And it's all kind of like concept artists and entertainment industry artists that table there, and we'll hold seminars there and have different speaking sessions and tell you about this new drawing tool, or like a little bit on themselves, or like this technique or their new comic, whatever it is. And they were using this website. At that time it was called Magma, now it's called Aggie, but I started using that because it allows you to draw in the same place at the same time in a digital space. So like
Wow.
If me and my friends wanted to draw a circle or something right here in this spot, this little pink dot, and they wanted to draw something in the exact same spot at the exact same time, they could do that. And you can't really do that in the physical world, but you can do that in this digital space. And so what I've been doing, or what I did in 2020, is I called up a buddy and we would just hang out online and draw. We did that a handful of times, and lately, what I've been doing is calling up different artists, including my buddy Evan Spears and a few other people, and I'm recording those videos, and we're having a talk over Zoom. We're sharing our screen with this online website called Aggie.io, and we draw and we color and we make a drawing like I'm doing now. And I'm going to be saving the drawings and putting those up for free download. I'm going to be posting the videos once a week, and I'm calling it Combo. This is combo drawings between me and a friend. And we make a drawing that you can download later, use it as your desktop wallpaper on your laptop or on your desktop computer, post it on it, do whatever you want with it. Copyright with ours. Don't if you make money on it, then you gotta give us money. But if you want to, actually no, these are all copywritten characters that we're doing. Do whatever you want with it. I can't sell my drawing of Spider-Man or whatever, but yeah, it's a free drawing and you can put it wherever you want. And I'm going to be posting the combo video series once a week as the Kickstarter is going on, because I want to be able to say that I'm not just out there asking people for money. Like, yeah, I'm going to ask for money and I'm going to give you a book in return. Like there is going to be an exchange of money and goods. I get that exchange, but I also want to feel like I'm giving something while I'm asking at the same time. So I'm going to be making these free drawings, making this free content, and going to be posting it so people can watch it, listen to it. It's very much two guys. Imagine two Bob Rosses drawing Spider-Man fight Green Goblin. That's what it is.
That's awesome. That is super freaking cool.
Yes.
And that's going to be uploaded to YouTube?
That's going to be on YouTube. I know that there's a bunch of people on Twitch. There's a bunch of people on like all kinds of different platforms. So I'm going to do YouTube for like the first season, or what I'm calling the first season, and then we'll see what happens. Go from there. Maybe every time I come out with a book, I'm going to come out with a season of these drawings and episodes too. Who knows?
That sounds really amazing. So, as you know, we have segments on our podcast. One of them is Chisme de la Semana. Are there any stories, comics, projects that you're working on currently, and any ideas for future projects?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I was gonna save that one for my chisme, but I can talk about something else I want to do. Before I forget about it, I want to mention WonderCon. So the chisme, I'm gonna be at WonderCon. This is my first big convention since the pandemic. I've done again, shout out to Division 9 Gallery in Riverside. I did their Dia de los Muertos event last year, which was all outdoors. There's like 10,000 people that show up to that, but it's all outdoors. I did the Comic-Con Revolution in 2021. But this year I'm going to be doing WonderCon. I just got my table assignment. They sent those out today. So I learned today that you can find me in, let's see, where's my Comic-Con do not reply email. You can find me at a WonderCon table, or at the WonderCon Artist Alley. That's, I believe, the weekend of April 1st. You can find me at Artist Alley B56, and come through, and I'm going to tell you all about Dark Mouse.
Yay.
The Kickstarter will be going strong. Hopefully,
that's
like
perfect
the
timing.
First couple of days, and I'm going to be telling everybody to go to that page and support the Kickstarter. Maybe I'll give you some original art there. If you support the Kickstarter, you show me that confirmation screen. Maybe we'll work something out there.
That sounds amazing. And I think you should have one of those little codes things that they scan and just go right into the Kickstarter.
The QR code, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they're
One.
called. Oh, that's he's on it. But yeah. Oh my God, now I want to go to WonderCon just for the original art and supporting the Kickstarter there so that I could get original art. Darn it. I wonder if I'm going. Now I gotta go and get tickets.
To be honest, I've been thinking about this lately because it hasn't even been on my mind that it's coming so quickly. But March 2020, we were slated to go to WonderCon as the very first convention where we were going to have we were
Press
gonna
passes.
have press passes.
Yes.
And
Oh,
so
man.
when everyone started talking about WonderCon coming back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder if we still have our press passes. So I have no idea. I'm gonna have to research it. I've just been really busy.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So
But that
so
if we do
yes.
have them, that sounds amazing. But
Yes,
yeah,
keep it up.
that was really gonna be an exciting time. I, was really ready to like record a lot of video and a lot of stuff. I was even gonna try to learn how to edit video, but I still don't know how to edit video, guys.
It's okay. Not mad at you.
So speaking about our segments, as Sarah mentioned, we do have a segment called Juntos y Fuertes, and that segment highlights noteworthy endeavors of members of marginalized groups that really deserve shout outs and support. So I know you've mentioned your friend's gallery in Riverside. Can you tell us a little bit about what they're about and what they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are ever near Riverside, California, make sure you go to downtown Riverside on Lemon Street, right near University Avenue, I think, is a gallery, an art gallery called Division 9 Gallery. The owner and the proprietor there is named Cosme Cordova, and he's a super cool gentleman who really gave me a lot of opportunities showing my artwork, participating in different art walks, different monthly events. I put on one of my first gallery shows there called Take Note, which was like a cash and carry show. Everybody drew something on a little Post-it card, and then we put it up on the wall. And if you had like, I think it was like $20, you could take original art home with you that night. We had great turnout for that. For a guy that's been doing this as long as he's got amazing energy and the amazing ability to come up with new ideas and new events and efforts that he wants to try out. He started like an art carnival a few years ago. And like I said, he's been doing that Dia de los Muertos event for years. Like people travel a long ways to go to that. It's really impressive, like what he's done. He was one of the first people to really build out and start the Riverside Art Walk out there. So if you're ever in Riverside, go see Cosme Cordova. It's all Latin-owned business. It's part framing shop. He diversifies the space and like has other people renting out their businesses and their crafts in there. And there's always some really good, interesting artwork to look at when you go there, and something interesting going on probably to partake in whenever you're in the area. I highly recommend.
That sounds awesome.
I know. Now I want to mark the days this Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Road trip.
Are there good breweries out there, Sarah?
Riverside, I don't know, guys. I haven't
We'll
been
have
to
to-
Riverside.
We're about to find out.
We're about to find out. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm sure there are. They're like I should probably know some. I don't know them off the top of my head, but yeah, I would wager that there are some good breweries. There's one. I don't know if they're a brewery. They're definitely a bar called Prohibition.
Oh, I already love it.
Yeah. Did they get shut down? I don't remember. There's plenty of good drinks in Riverside. I've never been hard up for a drink there. There's a little bar called the Menagerie that's great.
Ooh.
There's a coffee shop called Back to the Grind that's great that you should totally go to. They have a bunch of art shows too. I've participated in art shows there as well. Riverside has a really nice happening little community, and like I don't know what I did with it, but I totally have a Fontana hat as well. Like I don't want to sell my hometown short, but I did a lot of and get to do a lot of artwork in Riverside whenever I get the chance. One of my other buddies, his name is Raymond Argumedo. I might be saying that wrong, but he just opened his own gallery there. I want to say within the last year or just over that, called Gramercy Gallery. Not quite in the same neck of the woods, but still in Riverside proper. So there's a lot of good stuff that I would highly recommend people checking out as far as art goes in Riverside.
Well, that sounds really amazing.
Yeah, it's talking me into going out there. I never go out there. So.
Yeah, me neither. And it makes me a little sad as well because we don't have any galleries here in Compton. although we do have some groups of people that try to put on art shows, it really took a hit during the
Yeah.
pandemic, and I guess
Yep.
they're trying to grow again, but it's really a slow progress, especially like in an area like this where there's like, gang violence and it has a really bad reputation and stuff like that. But I mean, Super Bowl, that put us on the map all over again.
Yeah, man, that halftime show, that was like, who wasn't getting up and dancing?
Oh my
Yeah.
God, right? Oh my, you know what? I didn't want to mention it, but my husband and I did get up and danced because I was like, "Ooh, I'm like 10 minutes away from that courthouse." Yep. I'm like 5 minutes away from Tams. Yeah. And that Tams is actually where Suge Knight ran over some guy. So anyway,
Wow.
yeah. Okay, well, enough about that. Sorry. Anyway, Nathaniel, where can the listeners or viewers follow your projects and future projects, website, any social media tags, whatever you want to share with us?
Yeah, you should absolutely go to idraw.com. I'm going to put it up on the screen. This is where you're going to go to find out all about the new Kickstarter that's coming out. That's idraw.com. You follow me at iDraw. I'm going to be posting all about it. Sign up for my newsletter on my website, or go to the link in my Instagram bio to sign up for all that stuff. So the website or my Instagram or my Twitter, I'm on Twitter as well. Those are the places to go. Once this is done and proper, I'm going to put this online. So I share it with both of you,
Yay.
and you guys can do whatever you like with it. You have my full consent to
You know what I find amazing
paint
is
all
that
over
we've
it.
had multiple artists draw us in many different styles, and regardless of who it is, they get it so freaking
I
perfect.
know. I was just thinking that. I was like,
It's literally like a circle and 4 little lines, and I'm like, that's Sarah.
I was thinking that about Jen. I'm like, oh my God, that's Jen.
Yes.
It's so cute. I love it. I love it. This is so amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
I mean, it's
Thank you.
always
Thank you both.
awesome. And this is like the first time this has ever happened. So, my gosh, this is like really just groundbreaking for us. Like, I don't know how to screen share, but you're doing an amazing job. This is amazing.
Hey, thanks.
And speaking about Jen, I actually was like, oh, in the beginning, I'm gonna mention why
Yeah.
Jen's not here, and I got so excited about everything I forgot. But in case all of you are wondering where Jen is, Nathaniel's picture is not a memorial. She's still with us. But unfortunately, she had an accident. She broke her wrist and she had surgery yesterday. So she just was not able to join us today, but she asked us to please tell you she was sorry she missed it, Nathaniel, but definitely means we'll just have to do it again.
Absolutely, absolutely, totally fine. We will join forces again and party again.
Absolutely.
Oh God, yes. I can't wait. But yeah, no, I mean, you've left us with so much information, like about the gallery, about your Kickstarter, about even just learning myself how to draw that tail. That was so elusive. And thank you so much for doing this. This is an inaugural on live drawing, which is amazing. I really, really love it. I mean, there's so much I'm learning as you're going. Thank you so much for being on our podcast. Thank you so much for sharing your information about your Kickstarter coming up late March. Thank you for always being a great supporter of Comadres y Comics. I know that you also participated in our fundraiser. Thank you so much for that. That was really amazing.
Yeah,
really
comadres and cocktails.
yeah, that Comadres on the Rocks. If
there you go.
maybe a little bit later that actual feed will be available maybe later. We're still working on it, but yes, that's yeah. Thank you so much for enjoying that, because wow, that was
we were the highlight of the whole show. I mean, and there were strippers and
comedy,
sexy dancers and stand-up comedians and an actress from Netflix show, and we were the highlight.
Absolutely. I
And I
wager.
stand by that.
Yeah, 100%. I'm right there with you. That's for fundraising content that there's been no shortage of in the past couple of years. That was a great one, and the comadres did great. You all did great, and I hope to see that segment again at some point.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for all your support. And I mean, we have a lot of history. We were at the East LA Comic-Con when it was East LA Comic-Con, and you were like one of the first guests on our Las Platicas. Thank you for always being there for us. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you for coming over to my house and doing Las Platicas in studio. So you guys, you got to check out that Kickstarter because it's going to be freaking amazing original art. That is something that not many Kickstarters have. Thank you so much, Nathaniel, for being on our podcast and on our Las Platicas episode. We have been your host. I'm Sarah.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Nathaniel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and be good, everybody.
Yay!
Yay! Bye, guys.
Bye.